Jubilee, you listen just about as well as Piper does. Lay down. Hi guys, welcome back. I am Maddie and this is This Bookish Cottage. I am like an overly joyful little girl because I'm finally having another video. It has felt like such a long time since I have sat here and just talked to you guys and given y'all an update, but also talked about books. And it's still gonna be a little bit until we get to that second one, but that's okay. It's a new year, right? Like that's what we're talking about, is all of these new things. And so I do want to say I'm sorry because I know my title was a bit of a clickbait and I don't necessarily love clickbait, but it will make sense for this, I promise. So I know that many of you guys are wondering what has been going on and why haven't I been here? And some of you guys probably didn't even notice. That is a-okay. I'm fine with that. I needed some time. I definitely worked really hard on doing a whole Bookmas video series for Christmas, and that took a lot of time and a lot of effort, and then it didn't even finish the way that it needed to, and then we ended up losing footage and all this jazz, so it didn't work out the way that I was hoping that it would. But anyways, none of that matters. We are here now in the present for you guys to understand what I mean whenever I say I'm done. All right, so when people start a new year, they usually will say, hey, I'm going to have a word that is going to kind of catapult myself and my family or whatever it might be into the new year, and then I'm going to carry that word with me for the rest of this year, and it's going to be something I'm going to strive forward towards, or I'm going to, you know, just think on, or whatever it might be. And I'm not necessarily somebody who does that sort of stuff a lot, because even though I am a type A personality, I also have a smidge of type B, and sometimes it takes control like a little gremlin and just kind of does its own thing and just kind of ruins the plans of a type A personality. And one of those being that I don't necessarily stick with plans. So I don't usually do the word because I know no reason to set New Year's resolutions because I will not follow through with them. But this year I thought, you know what? I am going to do something that actually works for me, and no matter what, I will be succeeding. You know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? So, what am I going to be doing? Well, my word is done. I'm done. I'm done. Now, that word can have a lot of different meanings. It can have a lot of different connotations. It can be used obviously in several different ways, and it can be positive and negative. And I want it to be used in all of those ways, okay? And I am going to explain it, but I'm also just wanting you guys to know that this is going to be a video where I will talk about the ways that that word fits into this channel specifically and into books and reading and things like that. But then also, I'm going to have a section where this is going to just be my life in general slash my family's life in general, things along those sorts, okay? So just know that. So when I say I'm done, I am not necessarily done with this channel. Actually, I'm not done with this channel at all. I have wrestled with it a lot. I have kind of fought with myself on this a lot. I have talked to different people and sought different guidance on different things, but my thing is I always want to see something through, if possible, to completion, and I understand life gets in the way, and this might just be one of those times where life just kind of got in the way in some areas. But with allowing myself to have some reflection and allowing myself to feel all that needed to be felt and to work through the things and pick through my brain and my thoughts, I feel like I came up with a solution to this heavy cloud that was kind of hanging over my head when it came to This Bookish Cottage. I love this channel. I love all of you guys. I love what we have created, and I'm excited for this new year with it, but things have to change. So here are the things that I am done with when it comes to this channel. First, I am done with memberships. Now, I do know that I just created a video a couple months back talking about how we had switched my Patreon membership over to YouTube membership. And that was extremely exciting. I was very gung-ho about it, and I was shocked at how many people actually signed up. And I'm so thankful, and I'm so grateful, and I am so thankful for the relationships and the friendships that I have built through this membership, and it's something that I definitely want to continue. And I am sad that those will not continue the way that they have. I'm going to miss our movie nights. I'm going to miss our sprints. I'm going to miss having, you know, the special books that we've been reading and things like that. But I'm just going to have to be done with them. And that is because we have a big change coming in 2025 for our family. And that just means that I'm not going to have the same amount of time to dedicate to this as I was hoping that I would. Now, that is a wonderful thing, and I'm so happy to be in this situation that we're in. But it does mean that I needed to just let go of the perfectionist side of myself and allow myself to quit something while I could, before it became too big of a monster and then I just stopped everything altogether. So we're going to finish with memberships because I just know that as much as I love it and as much as I love being able to do all these things and give all these things to you guys and surprise y'all with little packages and things like that, I can't promise that I can do it this next year. I don't know what this year is going to look like, and so because of that, I don't want to give you guys just the bare minimum. You guys deserve so much more than that, and I love you as a person more than I love the idea of you spending money here. I love you guys more than the idea of me being able to monetarily grow my channel. I want you here because you want to be here, and I want to give you guys everything that I can and not just the scraps. So we are done with memberships, and to all of my members currently, I love you guys so much, and I'm so thankful for you guys to be here. We will continue to obviously have dogs that walk around while I'm talking. It is what it is. But we will continue to have book buddies. That is going to look a little different, just so you guys know. Y'all have probably clued in that things have been a little bit more sporadic over there than what I originally had hoped, and that is because of life changes. So what that is going to look like is you guys will be getting some challenges from me still, and you will get them quarterly. So you will still need to pay every month because that's just how it's set up, and that will cover for every challenge. So it's still the bare minimum of $3 that will still get you all for the 3 months. So as long as you paid the 3 months consecutively, you will get a quarter's worth of challenges. So I am very excited for those. I have been gathering them all up, and it has taken me a little bit longer since I am now creating 3 challenges at one time and then sending them out, but now I am getting to where I am actually ahead in that area, which is great. So we will still continue to have our sprints, and we will still be able to play those, but I'm also going to be changing that where your TBR games are going to be ones that you will do on your own. It will not be something that we do during the sprints, just because it can be a little hard to try and do that. And then I have had a couple of people who have reached out, and they have said that they don't necessarily like that so much because they feel like there are people who can play without paying. So I totally get it. I've heard you loud and clear. We won't do it that way. So you guys will still have to sign up for book buddies, and you'll still be able to get some fun games in the mail, but you'll be getting those quarterly. Okay, the next thing that I am done with on this channel is I am done with my TBR game. This one was hard for me because I worked so hard on that game, and I love that game, but Something about this channel that you guys should know is that I really started getting back into reading when I started this channel. I had been reading for a couple of months pretty heavily before then, and I've always been a reader, but I really got back into it a couple months before this channel started. And because of that, I have been learning more and more about myself as a grown woman who is now a wife and a mom on top of all of these things, and still trying to read. I have learned just so much. I've learned so much about myself. We need to pause for a hair intervention. Oh, there we go. My hair kept falling off my head. So, even though I love this game, I have learned that I am way more of a mood reader. Plus, this game makes it very, very hard to come up with content during the month. It is hard for me to plan ahead because I could have all the books picked out that I need, but then this game will completely change things, and that's perfectly fine. And I understand that the game in and of itself is content, but I am also done with chasing the content. There you go. You heard it here first. I'm done. I am going to be doing other things to help me pick books, and hopefully to pick books that I am not necessarily drawn immediately to. That way I can still work through those ones, but I can also still read books that bring me so much joy and ones that I'm so excited to dive into. I am hardcore a sight reader as well. Like I see a book, I learn about the book, and I want to read that book, and I'm going to start following that instead of feeling guilty because I'm putting that book before one that I'm supposed to read that was on my TBR. So that is not going to be happening anymore. So I'm sorry if you love that game. I'm really sorry that we're not going to be playing Bookcore anymore, but it could make an appearance every now and then for, you know, other ways and other ways for me to choose a book for that reading. I don't know. I still haven't fully decided. I'm not getting away with the game itself because I worked so hard on that game board, and so it's just not going to happen. It might just be a fun game that Piper and I play. I don't know. But it is not something that will be represented on this channel anymore. The next thing that I am done with is I am done with reading as many books as possible. Now, of course, that can go several different ways. I am still going to read as many books as I possibly can in a year, don't get me wrong, but I am not going to allow myself to feel this need or this anxiety of forcing myself to try to read more than my life can allow. Okay, again, we have a lot of changes coming up, which I will talk to you about in just a little bit, but I do not want to stress myself out. I want to enjoy reading. Reading should not be a job. It should not be something that I am forced to do if I don't want to do. It is something that I want to look forward to doing, but it became more of a chore, and it became harder for me to want to read because I was having to decide between doing other things or reading, and it was getting complicated, especially during the holidays. The holidays are full of so many other fun things that has nothing to do with reading, and I didn't want to stop those things just so that I could read because I felt this deep desire to read as many books as I possibly could in a month, and it was actually stressing me out. There were some months when I was able to read 25 books, and that was awesome. And then there were other months where I only read 8 books, and I felt like such a loser. I felt like I was a failure. And then to think back, and I look back at those months when I'm scrolling through my Bookmori, which is a thing, like it's a calendar that shows me all the books that I've read in a month, I realized that the month that I only read a couple of books, like a handful, a little bit more than a handful of books, I knew everything about those books, but then the ones where I read 25 books in a month, I vaguely remember some of those things. And that's okay. That just means sometimes there are books, they just don't do anything for you. They don't settle into your brain. They don't settle into your heart. You're just not going to remember it. And that's okay. It's going to happen even if you spend your time reading a book. But I just don't want that anymore. Because at that point, thinking about it, that's now a waste of time, right? I spent all this time reading all these different books, and I can't even remember half of them. Well, that was a waste of time to me. So I don't want to do that anymore. And some of you guys are probably vastly different, and that is a-okay. My mind works different. I've already told you I am not normal, and that is a-okay. And that is something I'm going to be leaning into. So another thing that I am done with this year is I am done with being the world's booktuber. I don't want to keep chasing after trying to be the booktuber that I think that you guys want. And instead, I am going to be who I am. And if you guys like that, I hope that you will stay. And I hope that that will excite you and help you to feel like you can be who you want to be and you can read what you want to be or read. And, you know, we'll all have fun here. I'm tired of feeling like I have to have the most perfect, well-edited, most bestest put together video and that I have to speak eloquently at all points of this video. I'm tired of that because guys, I'm a scatterbrained mom. I can't do it. I just can't. And then it takes so long to edit those videos because I jibber jabber, I ramble on. You hear my dogs walking, you hear Piper in the background because she's now loving to be the center of attention at all points of every second of the day. And so it's hard. It's hard. And I just realized, guys, you're gonna have the real me. You're gonna just have reality, okay? I'm sorry if that offends you, and I'm sorry if that upsets you. I totally understand if you do not want to be here because it's just too much. I get it. I understand. I am a lot. This channel is going to be a lot. My family is a lot. That just is what it is. But guys, that is what it is, okay? I cannot continue to try and be what I think that you guys want, okay? And again, I'm sorry if that is offensive. I don't mean it that way whatsoever. I just mean I don't want you to be here because you think I am somebody that I'm not. I don't go and watch other booktubers because I think that they're like me. I watch other booktubers because I love who they are. Some of my closest friends on BookTube, we are nothing alike. And I love that. I love that about them so much that it has given me the room to be able to be myself and to just admit to you guys that I'm done with trying to be anything other than me. Now, if you guys do not like awkward, if you guys do not like weird, if you guys do not like loud, if you guys do not like introverted, extroverted, then you're probably not going to fit in here very well. And I'm probably going to bring you a lot of anxiety, and I'm really sorry about that. But it is what it is. That is me in a nutshell. I am scatterbrained. I am extremely forgetful, and I have so many things. I love to try and, you know, juggle a lot of different things at one time, and I fail miserably most of the time, but it's a thing. It's like a hobby of mine. How many things can I juggle until I drop them all? It's a thing. It's just like a fun game. I don't know. I'm terrible at it. Well, I must be pretty good at it because I juggle a lot and drop a lot. So that's the name of the game. I'm pretty good at it. So all of that to say, I am done with those things. I'm done with trying to feel like I need to be a certain way in order to fit into certain cliques or into certain areas of BookTube. And instead of trying to say that, you know, I want to be this, you know, broad channel who can reach all the people. I just want to be me. I want to read the books I want to read. And I just want you here if you want to be here. I want us to be friends. So, you know, that was just a long way of saying, please stay. Please be my friend. Even if, you know, it's a little too much. Please stay because I'm excited to see what this year has. And if I'm too much for you, that's okay. Go ahead and you may make your exit. It is a-okay. I give you permission. This is the year where you make your choices and you can, you know, you can have all of the whatevers. Okay, now I'm starting to like get off topic, and so we're gonna bring it back. But I need my heavenly nectar. Oh my gosh. Guys, I just love 7 Brew. We finally got one in Salisal, by the way. And Salisal is where we live, in case y'all didn't know. And I am now currently obsessed with getting a blondie. Ice blondie with lavender. Oh. Should I be having it? No. Am I probably going to continue to have it? Yep. Yes, I am. That is not something I'm done with. Okay, so what else am I done with? Another thing I'm done with is I'm done with buying books. I feel like everybody says that. And we all fail at that. But this genuinely is something that I am done with. So, let me tell you guys what is going on in our life real fast. Ugh. Get ready. It's gonna be good. We bought some land. I am so excited. I can't remember if I ever said that on a video. I know that I said it in a live because I remember Sam from A Spark of Sam being there and she was almost crying. because she knew how much this meant to me. So for those of you guys who are new here, or you haven't been here very long, or you have been here for very long and you just don't remember, because if you're like me, you're very forgetful. Well, we live on a houseboat, and we moved into this houseboat over a year ago. We sold our home, that way we could live here and we could save up money, because our dream and our desire was to eventually own land. Cody and I have terrible credit, and so we knew that we weren't gonna be able to go through a conventional loan or anything like that, so we knew we were gonna have to save up the money for this, and so we knew that that was gonna take several years. Well, we happened upon some land, and not only did we happen upon some land, we happened upon 5 acres that are very pretty, and they are right next door to my best friend, which, if you guys don't know, my best friend Donna, she's on here several different times in different lives, and she's probably going to end up being in some videos down the road. We're going to be living right next door to her, and I just cannot be more excited for this. It's gonna be wonderful. It's gonna be wonderful for so many different things, but especially to be able to live right next door to your best friend, that's amazing. It's amazing. So anyways, we are making that transition, and because of that, we are going to be working on, there is a little mobile home that's on the property. It needs a lot of work, a lot of TLC. It is not where we plan on staying forever, but it is a home that we need to move into sooner rather than later. That way, when we sell this boat that I'm currently on, we can then actually take the time needed to buy our shed or our barn. We're wanting to do a tiny home still. We don't want to live in a big home anymore. Not that we do right now, but we moved from a big home. We don't want to do that again. And so we want to be able to keep things smaller. And with that, we need to have very specific things. And we don't want to feel rushed to find those things, because when you sell a boat, it is the people buy the boat and it is now theirs. It is not a 30 to 45 day closing window. It's done immediately. And so we just feel like this might be the best bet for us, is to just go ahead and move into this house. And we will bring you guys some of that footage and stuff too. But anyways, all of that to say, because we are moving, I am done with buying books. That is why this is so clear, because, and there's no books here. We have been packing everything away and getting ready for this move. And we just cannot buy books. Plus, the money that we are using to buy books, I am trying to put into our savings. That way we can try and pay this land off faster and put some money towards being able to work on the house whenever we get it, because we will be doing the work ourselves. So we're going to have to be able to supply ourselves with all the different tools and all the different equipment and things that we're going to need. So all of that to say, Mama's done buying books. Another thing that I'm kind of done with when it comes to this channel, and this is kind of the last one that has to do with this Bookish Cottage specifically, and that is that I am done with chasing the Bookish channel mold. There's kind of this unspoken setup and design of what a bookish video is supposed to be and supposed to look like. And I just don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to do that. I don't want to have videos of me sitting here talking to you guys and showing y'all books the whole time. I just don't like it. I don't want that. I don't watch other people do that. Some of my favorite videos, Amy Marie, she's also one of my best friends. I love her so much, but I love her videos because I get to see her being her. And like, the reason I'm drawn to her channel is because I love her, right? And so I love that. I love A Spark of Sam because the same thing. I love Hannah from A Teacher's TBR. Like, you guys have seen all these different people on my channel because they're ones that I'm just gravitating towards because I love to watch them and their lives. And so that's something that I really, really want to strive for. Again, we have such huge changes coming up this next year that means I may not be able to record videos of me just sitting here and talking about books. I may not be able to have the most put together and the most beautiful video that you will ever see because we are in a transition period, and that could be for an entire year. But I don't want to stop making videos because of that. Instead, I just want to say, you know what? We're not going to follow the norm, and we're going to do what works best for me, and I'm going to create content that I want to create. Like, I want to do the things that I love to do and bring you guys along with me. I love books. but I also live. I live a life. And so I want you guys to come along with me in that. And I want you guys, please, to give me the space and give me the permission in a way to do those things and not feel like I'm a failure in BookTube because I'm not sticking to the absolute norm of what a BookTube video should look like. So there's that. Just know it's probably going to be peppered in with livestock. It's probably going to be peppered in a little bit with some homeschooling because I am going to become a busier woman. And that just means I may not have all the time in the world to read. So if I don't have 4, 5, 6, 7 books to show you in a week in a video, then I'm gonna be missing some content. So I'm gonna have to fill it in somewhere. So I'm giving myself the permission to do that, and I hope that you guys will accept that and will allow me to do the same thing. If you are not interested in me and my life in general, feel free to go ahead and leave this video. I am so thankful for you. No matter what you decide to do in this moment, I am so thankful. I am thankful that you ever decided to be here. I'm just thankful that you've been watching this video for as long as you have and listening to my random rambles that absolutely have nothing to do with books in general, but have to do with bookish-ish. So again, thank you guys, love y'all, but let's get into this next section. So this next section has to do about my life, has to do about my family's life, and just kind of those things combined together, but also somewhat with YouTube, because these are a couple more things that I am done with in different ways. So the first thing that I am done with is I'm done with not putting my family first. And this comes specifically about my husband and my daughter. I love them more than anything else in this world. I get super weepy when I think about it because I'm so blessed with them and I know it. But sometimes I don't show it very well. And so that's something that I definitely want to work on, because while I love this channel, and I have 2 different YouTube channels, in case you guys didn't know that, I have this channel and I also have one that is specifically for savings. And because I have both of those, they are time commitments. But it's also because I strive towards things that I shouldn't be striving towards, and I prioritize things in ways that I shouldn't be prioritizing. So because of that, this year I am striving to make sure my family is first and everything else comes afterwards. If there is stuff that I need to be doing with my family and I need to be spending time with my family, and that means that you guys don't get a video for a week, then that is what it is, because my family will always come first. My family should always be put above the needs of what technically would be considered strangers. And I don't mean that rude or as an insult to you. I don't mean that like that. But you know, you get what I'm saying. They are my true people who they will be here through thick and thin, and they will be here whenever this channel is no longer a thing. Whereas it would be a little harder for some of you guys to do the same thing with me. And so they are going to be put first. And if that hurts you, I'm very sorry. It's not intentional. The next thing that I am going to be doing is I'm going to be working hard to make sure that my savings challenges are done. So this isn't something that I'm necessarily done with, but this is something that I am striving to ensure that that word is carried throughout the year. So again, I have a second YouTube channel. It's called Floating Funds, and that is all dedicated to savings challenges towards figuring out how to save money and how to move forward with our finances. And because of that, we are, as a family, we have decided to make big strides towards making sure that as many of those challenges that I'm doing are getting finished and are getting done. Because when they are done, that means we have done our part with saving the money. We have done our part with pushing it towards the thing that it needs to be going in towards, whether it's an emergency fund, whether it's towards furniture for the new house, because whenever we move, we have no furniture. We live on a boat. It's all a part of it. So we're gonna have to have new furniture, you know, things like that. It's going to be money towards Piper's schooling, which Piper is our daughter, if you guys don't know. It's just all the different things. We are working really hard to ensure that these get done, and we are pushing as hard as we possibly can, which also means that we are done with just frivolous spending. So that has nothing to do with this Bookish Cottage, but that is also why we're not buying books. So, so there's that. Okay, last but I think not least is I am going to be pushing to get our house done. As I said, we are living currently on a boat, and we will be moving onto our new land into the mobile home that is there, and it is a wild place. Like, it has not been lived in a couple years, and it definitely needs some work. It is just for me, it is just a home. It is just a place for us to go to stay that will help store our stuff, that will give us shelter from the elements for the most part. But it is not where I want to be forever. But we do need to try and get it to a place that we can call done, where we can feel safe living there and moving our daughter there. So there's lots of sheetrock removal, lots of flooring that needs to be refinished, things like that. And then you guys can come with me as I try to make it my cute little bookish cottage. But then we're also going to be working on building our home, but that can't happen until we sell this boat, because we just can't afford that any other way. So once we sell this boat, then hopefully we'll be able to move forward on building our new house. And that is a goal that I have for this year. Hopefully, it all depends on when this one gets sold and how fast Cody and I can work, because he is still going to be working full time, and possibly doing 2 jobs just so that we can try and get everything paid off as fast as possible. And then I also have to run 2 channels, and I still have to be a mom, and I still have to homeschool, and I still have to do, you know, wifely things. And so hopefully we will be able to get the other house done and we'll be able to move into there. But that is not necessarily something that I'm going to say is a hard fast rule for this year, but it would be a wonderful thing if that happened this year. So if you guys are interested in that, make sure you guys follow along, because I will be doing way more content that has to do with our house stuff as well. I will be giving a tour here soon. I'm slightly embarrassed and slightly shy about it, because I just don't necessarily want to live there, but you guys are gonna have to see it, because I'm gonna have to shoot videos somewhere whenever we don't live on the boat. So that is what it is. All right, well guys, I hope that was good for y'all. I hope that y'all feel like you know me better, and I feel like you guys, you know, might know what to better expect coming down the turnpike. I don't know. I'm probably missing some things when I'm editing this. I'm gonna say, man, I really wish I would have told them this, or I wish I would have told them this. Editing Maddie here to let you know that I was 100% right. I did forget to tell you guys something. So if you're still here, then I guess it's just a little bit of a treat for you. So basically, even though I am getting done with my membership, I completely forgot to tell you guys that I will still be doing kind of like a book club, but not like a actual book club. We had planned on reading Anne of Green Gables and reading the entire series this year. And so we are still going to be sticking with that. If you guys are interested and want to follow along, then I will be putting community posts up on my community tab, so you guys can, you know, talk on there, and we can chit chat in the lives about it as well. But I'll be reading that. And then also I'm going to be starting Wheel of Time as per usual. It always comes up, but I have been pushing this off until January, and we are currently in January, so I'm gonna have to get started sooner rather than later, and we will be reading through all of Wheel of Time this year. So if you're interested in that, then make sure that you comment down below that you are going to be participating in that as well. And that is something else that we will be talking about in my community tab on Instagram, any of the things. So hopefully you guys can join me in those things. Back to the actual video. But I will probably tell you guys this stuff during lives, which if you don't know, tomorrow is my birthday, and I'm going to be turning 34, and I am so excited with that. So technically tomorrow I'm gonna be done with being 33, and I'm gonna be doing a really, really fun sprint with a lot of my friends from BookTube, and I would love for you guys to be there. So if you guys have any questions that have to do with this video, make sure you ask them over there. I would love to talk to you guys. It's going to be a reading sprint, but let's be honest, I have missed these girls so much, and I have missed you guys so much, and I'm probably just gonna want to talk to y'all because I just love to talk to you guys. So make sure you guys come check that out. And if you guys are seeing this after, I'm sorry if you weren't there. I missed you, wished you could have been there, but we will see you guys on Tuesday, because starting Tuesday we will be having our weekly sprints, and I cannot wait. And I love you guys, and I just hope that y'all have a wonderful, wonderful start to 2025 and a wonderful rest of this week. I love you guys, and I will see y'all in my next video. Bye guys.